can't even remember at this point.
At some point it'll be 10th.
At some point. Scholars, also thank you for your patience. We know you've been waiting, but I see some of you have been studying as you've been waiting.
While others have been singing to our favorite tune.
How many of you love the song Havana?
Yes!
Wow, okay. How many of you like the song and after the last hour now you're beginning to hate it? Alright, by tomorrow all of you will be raising your hands. And if that's the case, then we've succeeded.
Exactly. Then we will introduce you to jazz and classical music.
Are any of you apathetic to the song? You just don't really care? No, oh, so everybody has strong feelings. That's good.
That's good, that's good. We're able to conjure an emotion. How many of you actually put up headphones for the past hour? Very good.
But tomorrow they will.
No headphones allowed. If I see headphones, I will take them.
Scholars, we are very, very happy to be back here. This is the third of our sort of Japan tour of rounds. We started in Kyushu. Actually, not Patrick and I, but Patrick did back here, and Sylvia. And then we were in Tokyo the last 2 days, and now we are here in Kansai. This is one of, I know, my personal favorite rounds of the year, all of our Japan rounds. So we're very happy. Many of you are new to the program, some of you are returning. Let's just get an idea who's been here before. How many of you were at the Kansai round last year? Quite a few.
Quite a few.
Was anybody here 2 years ago? Not here. None of us were at this school 2 years ago, but or even last year. All right, we have some. Anybody 3 years ago? 4 years ago. All right, we have some stalwart teachers. Now, how many of you are participating for the very first time? If you are feeling nervous, if you are confused about what's going on with this stage and who these strange guys are on stage, don't worry, because all those other people raising their hands, they're also confused.
So, then we should make some introduction, shouldn't we?
We probably should.
Break the ice, or break whatever, tinkle nuts or something here we should be doing? I don't know. Moving on!
All right. So scholars, I can start by introducing myself. I know some of you have been here before, some of you have been to global rounds, some of you have been to the Tournament of Champions. My name is Joseph, at least that is the name that my parents gave me many years ago when I was born. But the World Scholars Cup gave me a different name several years ago. I've been involved in the program since 2012, but as a full-time team member since 2015. I started off as a coach, teaching when I was teaching, and several years ago the World Scholars Cup gave me the nickname Joga. That's spelled J-O-G-A. It's like the word yoga, but put a J at the front. And most scholars don't even know what my actual name is. In fact, most teachers in the program just know me as Joga. So please feel free to call me Joga. That's what everybody calls me. It confuses my family if they ever hear it. But in addition to being known as Joga, there's one defining feature that scholars know me for. It's my bald head. They know me as the bald guy in the World Scholars Cup. And sometimes, because of that, they say I look like certain people. Some of those I take as compliments. Like, some scholars in Bosnia said, "You look like Hitman." I don't know if you guys know who Hitman is. He's Agent 47, there's a video game, and he kills people, okay? Now, which goes against the World Scholars Cup mission of being a non-violent program. Should make that very clear. But I still think it's kind of cool, I guess, because he's like an action hero. Also, some scholars said I look like the guy in the movie Kingsman. Merlin is his name, I think. Also a compliment, although he is also violent. But there's another character that scholars told me I look like that I don't take as a compliment. This was in Pakistan about 2 months ago. Some scholars in, I believe it was in the city of Lahore, said that I look like a character in Harry Potter. A character who does not have a nose. I think they all know. His name is Voldemort. Yes, I don't take that as a compliment. But nonetheless, scholars now from Pakistan say that, and then they take it one step further. They said, since you kind of look like Voldemort and your name's Joga, we're going to call you Jogamort. And then one scholar there photoshopped my face into Voldemort's face, and it was even creepier than it sounds. So anyway, scholars, my name is Joga. Please do not call me Jogamort. And I am very, very happy to be back here in Kansai. This is the third Kansai round I've been to. And I look forward to getting to know many of you over these next 2 days, and hopefully a few months from now at the global rounds that we'll talk about in a bit.
Indeed.
And this gentleman here,
My name is Albert. If any of you have not met me before, actually most of you probably haven't met me before, I am from a country that starts with the letter C. Can anyone guess? Excellent. All of you got it wrong. It's Canada, everybody. Right, so I'm flowing with maple syrup. Any one of you need pancake and you need some topping, just come to me. I'll get you some maple syrup somehow. Right? Now, that's one thing you need to know about me. The second thing that you need to know about me, I think you guys sort of saw it just now. I don't know how to walk slowly. It's a side effect of living in Hong Kong for too long because cars don't like to follow traffic instruction and will chase after you. So the only way to survive in Hong Kong is if you run faster than a car. Now, and so in this sort of instance, I run a lot. Now, if you see me running, there's only 2 suggested responses and 1 response you shouldn't choose. The first 2 is either run with me, right? Because I'm obviously running away from something. As you can see memes on Facebook these days, apparently I'm running away from a lot of things, including running away from the law in some places as well.
which is not a Photoshop thing that actually happened.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
In a country that starts with the letter C.
As well. Now, the second thing you should do is, if you see me running towards you, kindly do this, right? In some places, things like tables and chairs and trees aren't very respectful, so they don't get out of the way and I end up hitting them. So, they are not very apologetic, which is a problem. The third thing that you could do, which please do not do, is give me a hug if I'm running towards you. Alright? In Athens, a scholar actually tried to hug me while I'm sprinting across the hallway. Let's just say if any one of you studied physics, this is the point where we learn about inelastic collision and action and reaction. So I'm happy to report the scholar did not incur any permanent injury, but I would hope none of this would come to you. So if you want to give me a hug, do so when I'm not running. Now, but we're not the only ones here, are we?
No, we are not. Scholars, there are 4 of us here, at least for today. We'll see how many of us are here tomorrow. Scholars, many of you met this next member of our team. He was here last year at the Kansai round, Mr. Patrick.
As Joe mentioned, I was here last year, and I'm very happy to be back. I'm looking forward to a great 2 days with you. I introduced myself to scholars all around the world through my name. My last name is a recognizable last name. It is McDonald. That usually brings some chuckles wherever we're at, but it gets funnier than that. My mother had a thematically related last name before she married my father. Can anyone guess what that was? Colonel Sanders? No, it was not Colonel Sanders. Wendy, that's closer.
King Baba.
No, not King Burger.
Burger King.
Burger King, you're getting very warm. Both of those. Burger, yes. My mother's last name was Burger before she married my father. So there was a Burger McDonald wedding, and I'm literally a McDonald burger.
But that does not mean that you should squirt ketchup and mustard on him.
No, please.
Only pickles.
Only pickles. You can sprinkle the pickles on my head.
And scholars, we are also joined by a team member who is sort of our resident person that gets us around Japan because she speaks Japanese, even though she's not from there. Sylvia!
Say something in Japanese.
おはようございます。Is there anything you would like me to say in particular? And I hope I get it
Just
right.
nothing about us behind our backs, or I guess we're standing in front of you. Yeah.
Well, hello everyone, my name is Sylvia, and I'm a volunteer traveling with the World Scholars team in Japan. This is my first time in Japan, and if you guys want to know why I know Japanese, feel free to come talk to me anytime. I've been learning it for a very long time, and I'm just really glad that I'm here with you guys today in Kansai. It's been an exhilarating experience to be here, and I hope to be able to meet more of you today as the day goes on.
We are your WSC Team Kansai for the next 2 days. If you have any questions, if you're not sure what's going to happen next or where to go or anything, or if there's just a down moment and you want to get to know us, please feel free to approach any of us. We're not that scary. And one of the reasons why we enjoy what we do so much is getting to know scholars like yourselves. This event, the Kansai Round, is one of about 130 different regional events that we will have in over 55 countries around the world. And it's the connections that we make with individual scholars that really make it worthwhile to do what we do. So please feel free to come up and talk to us, even if we forget each other's names after 10 seconds of talking. That's okay. We'll get through the awkward conversations. There are also some other people who can help you if you're not sure what's going on at any point. If everybody takes a look at the back at some of our WSD Japan Committee team members in the red shirts, they are also here to help. There are more of them, some in both doors, maybe that's all of them. So please also feel free to ask them if you have questions, they're also here to help. And scholars, we should put our hands together and give a huge round of applause to our host school, Toshisha International Junior and Senior. Who are familiar with the program here in Kansai, you would know that this is our first year here. We're also very happy to have our former host, Senator Osaka International School in the house. And many other schools that we'll introduce in a bit. But to help welcome you to our wonderful host school here, we'd like to call up our host, who is an English teacher here, but he's more of a boss man when it comes to the World Scholars Cup, Mr. Simon Goddard. It appears that you are a very popular man here. Morning! Morning, people I know.
I am the disorganizer of the World Scholars Cup School. I disorganize very well, so if you need any help getting it wrong, please ask. It's been mental setting it up, but hopefully we're ready. The most important is I hope for the next 2 days that you have an absolutely brilliant time, and I'm sure you will. And as of tomorrow, whatever the results, you walk away, hopefully with new friends, new experiences, more photos than you can ever manage to look at, and then you wake up on Monday morning wishing it was still Sunday. But that's normal. All right, thank you.
We hope you all feel welcome here. I think it's also worth noting that we not only have scholars from all over Kansai, but also we have a few scholars who have traveled here all the way from the country of Kyrgyzstan. Yes. Do you all know where Kyrgyzstan is? No. Can we get our scholars from Kyrgyzstan to stand up?
Scholars from Kyrgyzstan. That's how you say hello.
So scholars, this is the first time this round has ever had scholarship outside of the country. We hope you help them feel welcome. I believe it is their first time in Japan. But there are many of you here from many different schools, and like Simon said, we really hope that over these next 2 days you make a lot of new friends, and by the end of tomorrow you've exchanged contact details. It's so easy to keep in touch. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever it is that you like to use.
LinkedIn.
I don't think the scholars use LinkedIn.
No.
Do any of you use LinkedIn? Anybody looking for a job? Good, you shouldn't yet.
Friendster? Never mind.
But scholars, we've talked a little bit about the global rounds, and some of you are familiar with the global rounds. How many of you know about the global rounds in the World Scholars Cup? Whoa, that's a lot of them that don't.
That's good. We will be able to show them something they haven't seen before.
So scholars, as we mentioned, this is a regional round, and we have many of these. And tomorrow you will find out at the award ceremony if you and your teammates have qualified to join us on this journey that we're starting together by representing Japan, representing Kansai or Kyrgyzstan at a global round where you will be joined by thousands of other scholars who come from dozens of countries from all corners of the world. And at those global rounds, you really get a chance to learn from everyone that is there and also challenge yourself, just like you'll be challenged over these next 2 days. And we'd like to introduce the 3 global rounds that we will be having this year.
And we'll probably do a straw poll as well. Now, the first global round will be at... Not really.
How many of you would want a global round in Kansai? Oh. You don't want to hear because you want to travel. Ah, I see.
What happens if we put it in like Okinawa? No?
Nowhere in Japan? Oh, no love for your own country. Whoa.
We could cross the Sea of Japan and go to Pyongyang. That would be interesting. Alright, so the first global round that we have coming this June is in the wonderfully humid and hot climate of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The second one,
Our next go round will take us south of the equator for the second time. Last year we had our first ever round in the southern hemisphere. This year will take us to a country that is also a continent, Australia, to the city of Melbourne. Where you will be able to meet kangaroos and koalas. And probably put one of these cherries in a kangaroo. Actually, are you allowed? I've heard that kangaroos punch and kick. So if you try to do that, you might... That is true. Give an Australian souvenir in the form of a bruise.
since after all we are a non-violent organization,
I don't know if that goes for the kangaroos.
we can civilize them.
Okay.
And last but not least, the third one, not chronologically, is in the country that is currently in flux. It is the country, or the city of Barcelona.
Now, scholars, now that we've shown you all three, you maybe didn't know where all of them were before we showed. So, now that you know them all, think about which global round you would go to if you could just choose. Like, if your parents didn't have to have a say in it and everything. So now, we're going to show you all three again. This time, when the global round that you're most excited about pops up, make some noise for that global round, okay? This is how we do official polling to predict the size of global rounds. So scholars, if you want to go to the global round in Kuala Lumpur, make some noise.
Much more muted enthusiasm, I can see.
You had so much love for Malaysia just 20 seconds ago.
Just from a distance, I think. It's one of those,
It's
right?
like puppy love.
Exactly. How about Melbourne? Who wants to go see
And if you are most excited about Barcelona,
I think we could say those are equal votes with one being more equal than the other.
so scholars, those are the three global rounds, and we do hope to see many of you at those global rounds in just a few months. It should be noted that Kansai scholars have done exceptionally well at the global rounds in recent years. A few certain individuals in particular, who may or may not be in this room. And we hope that many of you can also continue that journey representing your corner of the world. But the journey does not end there, because there is one final stage after the global rounds. If your teams do well at the global round you choose to go to, you can join us at our final conference each year. It is always at the same place, typically in mid-November at Yale University in the United States. It's called our Tournament of Champions. That's what anticlimactic means. So scholars, that is sort of the bigger journey we're on, and as we go through these next 2 days, this round it's not small, but it's not massive. There's about 185 of you here, just if you're wondering. Our largest Kansai round ever. But just remember that you're joining a much larger community. By being here over these next 2 days, you're joining a community of tens of thousands of scholars. This year, we anticipate about 29,500 scholars in total will participate in our events all over the world. And you are all very much a part of that community. So I think that's something to keep in mind. And to help give those of you who are new to the program a better idea of what to expect at the Global Rounds, and also today and tomorrow, we want to share with you a look back at our 2017 Hanoi Global Round that some scholars in this room were at. And hopefully you will enjoy.
Come to this global round. For the collaborative writing and the debates, the scholars went to Vim School, which was one of our generous debate school hosts at this global round.
Before the word scholars, but after joining, I started to learn these skills. So it really strengthened my ability. That helped me become a more confident student and learner.
What they do is they work in ways that appeal to the kids' sense of what's interesting in the world. And once they get the kids interested in these different topics that they put in their subject guides every year, the kids actually find that when they enjoy learning, they go much, much deeper into the learning because they're inspired.
It's less like a competition and more like a collaboration between our team.
During the Scholars Bowl, where you only have 15 seconds to answer the question, you have to communicate really clearly, so it's definitely improve my communication skills.
Now, packing is very important. It's more than just a symbol or a mascot in the program. It really captures the spirit and the heart of the program. And so the moment when they receive their alpaca is one of the most joyful moments of any round we have, anytime we ever have all the students together.
The program that I originally envisioned as a platform for people to discover strengths and skills they never had. But what I didn't envision and what I realized is just as precious is for people to discover other people.
To see all the different cultures and all the different foods and all the different traditions. It's really like another geography lesson for me.
I've met people from Dubai, Slovenia, Myanmar, everywhere, like all over the world, and we're all just like really good friends now.
What's golf is not just about like debating and writing and studying, it's also like meeting new people.
Having many people from different countries all work together and doing silly stuff. It's really weird, but I feel like weird is what makes people
We're being
unique.
here together.
Yeah, we're weird together.
year, we had so many scholars signing up for the talent show, where the scholars got up in front of thousands of others.
I would have never known that I was able to perform in such a big audience, but everyone was really supportive of what we were trying to do. I was able to build up my confidence.
I used to be scared of being a dancer, and now I want to dance. And I did this once, and every student did this with me, and we were all doing it together. We don't always feel comfortable in every situation, unless we can be in a place with others who understand.
It's nerve-wracking, but you have so much adrenaline from standing up there, and it's one of the best experiences of my entire life. You know, you see all these people from different backgrounds sitting next to each other. You see these different inputs, but at the same time, you see how things can be resolved peacefully. And that's something that I hope the world can aspire to.
Every additional country that comes in adds something to every existing student from every country who's already here. And I guess it's bringing students from the world together.
Scholars, we are about to begin the presentation of the awards.
I feel honestly overwhelmed, like I'm living a dream. It's surreal, but I am so honored to be part of this community and to be receiving these awards that I know every scholar really deserves. I think it's really amazing because it's not really something anyone has been as successful or hospital here, and we do a lot together as a team, and I'm just really happy that we can.
I realized the importance of not individually succeeding, but more succeeding with my team. Not only has it allowed me to expand mentally, but I think I've become more emotionally mature, more capable of understanding what's surrounding in WSD.
If you'd asked me 10 years ago after the first World Scholarship event, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I don't think I would have said, I see myself at a global round with 3,600 participants from 40 countries. I've seen how many people had to be there at every step of the way to make that journey not just possible, but continue from place to place and step to step.
The World Scholars Club has existed for 10 years, but I hope that within the next 10 years or 20 or even more, the program will continue growing. It'll continue spreading in both diversity and location. I think this program genuinely has a sense of magic to it. I've never seen a program that has enthusiastic scholars that after participating in one city and they move to a new one, they will do everything they can to get it started again. This magic exists is because of the scholars.
So scholars, those are the global rounds, but we have another group of introductions to make. We've introduced our team, but there are some other individuals out in this room who are key for this day being possible, and they are your debate adjudicators and teachers. So if you are in this room and you are a DAA or debate adjudicator or a teacher here, could you please stand up? And scholars, please put your hands together for these individuals. These are the talented who will make the day possible. And now that we've given them our round of appreciation, Patrick at the back will be leading them to the transformation chamber where they will be transformed into your debate adjudicators. So before they leave, say everything affectionate that you can. I love you, I appreciate you, I will hand in my homework next week. No, you're not going to say any of that? Oh dear. Thank you, judges.